Hello everyone, this is Ravi Prakash, a postgraduate in electronics, teaching for IIT and NEET. And today's topic is Physical World from CBSE Class 11, Part 1. Here, we are going to know what is science. Science is a systematic study of nature. Then why should we study nature first? Because we are part and parcel of nature. We have to understand the nature for our better survivability. If we can understand the nature and predict something in future, then our survivability chances increases. For example, 10 to 15 years ago, we had no such alarming systems for cyclones. But today, the situation is totally different. We are having huge number of satellites in the space. They are constantly monitoring the atmosphere on the earth and the formation of the cyclones, and we are able to identify the ferocity of the cyclone 5 to 6 days before it hits the land. So in that way we can protect the human race, or we can protect ourselves from the ferocity of the nature. And science has advanced to a certain level that we can identify any natural disasters like earthquakes or seismic. We are in a position to identify the seismic zones. We are in a position to identify any kind of natural disasters like tsunamis in advance. These alerting systems are very important for us for better survivability in nature. So if you have to survive in nature, you should understand the nature properly and take precautions or necessary actions according to that, or you should act accordingly. And coming to the nature, as you know, nature consists of matter, and matter is broadly classified into two: living matter and non-living matter. So matter is broadly classified into two: one is living and the non-living matters. And in physics, mostly we deal with non-living matter rather than living matter. And for eons, we are very much curious about the nature. We humans always been curious about the world around us. So we are finding the patterns of day and night by using the scientific method, and we are curious to know about why there is a day and there is a night. And we are also interested in annual season of cycles, and the season of cycles also plays a vital role in the human being's life. And by understanding the season of cycles, we can protect ourselves, can use the formation of seasons for cultivation and making of food. And according to the season we live in now, we take the necessary precautions for our better survivability. The precautions that we take in summer are different from the precautions we take in winter. The precautions we take in summer may not work for the precautions that we take in the winter. So we have to adjust our lifestyles. Not only our lifestyles, we have to adjust our food we eat, the dress we wear, or the dress code, or the shelter we live in. So everything depends on the seasons we live in. So in order to understand the nature better, we have to understand the science, or we should follow the scientific method to understand the nature. And the formation of eclipse is another wonder. And we have tried to find the reason for the eclipse. That's what we did with the scientific method. And the formation of tides in oceans and seas is another important or interesting aspect in science, or the interesting thing for the human being, why the tides are forming. So we try to find a reason for that. And the formation of volcanoes and the volcano eruption is another important aspect, and it is one sort of natural calamity where we have to take care about that. So volcanoes suddenly, without any indication, they may suddenly erupt. So we have to study in a systematic way about the volcanoes and their eruptions and alert the people around the volcanoes to evacuate in time to save their lives. So in that way, we have to know in advance how the volcanoes work and how and when they are going to break, and what are the consequences of volcanoes erupting. There may be some sort of earthquakes while erupting of volcanoes. There may be poisonous fumes coming out. There can be a lot of dust and ash thrown into the atmosphere, which makes the sky hazy and dark, and distinguish between the day and night when the volcano erupts. So these are most dangerous things that happen on earth, and we need to know about them and take precautions according to them. There we are using our scientific method to observe such phenomena and take necessary precautions to save human lives and human race as well. And the rainbow we have always been a source of wonder for us, and it is as wonderful as it looks. And we have to understand what a rainbow is and how and when it forms and the scientific phenomena behind it. And most of the things we cover under this lesson are, we try to understand what is physics and the definition of science. As I said, science is a systematic study of nature and the natural phenomena, and the scientific method, the method we follow in science, and unification and reduction, the way of reading the science by taking several parameters under one branch, that we call it as unification, and later, for our convenience, dividing the science into various branches, which we call them as reduction, or any phenomena into different branches, which we call it as reduction. And fifth one, scope and excitement of physics. We deal with macroscopic phenomena to microscopic phenomena. We deal with heavenly objects like sun, planets, galaxies, and universe, which are large in nature, not only large in size, the time scales are huge, the masses are huge, the sizes are huge. We also deal with simultaneously with microscopic objects like atoms, molecules, protons, neutrons, which are very small in size, which cannot be seen with naked eye. So the scope of science is from macroscopic, where we deal with larger objects where our brain cannot understand or comprehend, and we are simultaneously dealing with the smaller objects which cannot be seen with naked eye. This is the scope of science, and it always excites human being. And the third one is mesoscopic science, that is neither too large as macroscopic, neither too small, microscopic. So we are dealing with mesoscopic science as well. So how society is influenced by physics and technology, we are going to learn in this lesson. Definitely society is, as a society we are getting better day by day with the help of science and technology. So we are going to learn about that in this lesson. And we have 4 fundamental forces in nature, that is gravitational force, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, and the last one is electromagnetic force. So we are going to learn about all these 4 fundamental forces in nature, and we are going to study about unification of forces, when one or two forces combine to form a new kind of, or can show a new effect. So which we call them as unification of forces. We combine one or two forces and study under one branch. So this is what we call it as unification of forces. And we try to understand the nature of physical laws through this lesson. So if you like the lesson, please like, share, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please follow my next coming classes. Thank you very much. This is Ravi Prakash signing off.